Today we'll start the seventh chapter of computer networking series. It is the last chapter, the final chapter, that is physical layer. So today we'll start the physical layer. So let's see. The physical layer is the first layer. It is technically the first layer in the WSI model, but it will be is just like asynchronous order or the chronological order. It will be lie in the last. So it's basically the physical layer is the first layer of the WSI model responsible for transmitting the raw data bits over a physical medium. It defines the hardware elements like cables, switches, and signals transmission methods, ensuring accurate and efficient data transmission. Then we have data, analog and digital. Data can be transmitted into two forms, analog and digital. We have analog data which uses a continuous signals like voice or music. It's commonly used in the traditional telecommunications systems like telephones. So this is the analog system. Like this data is two types, basically analog data and digital data. We have seen the analog data. Let's see what is digital data. Digital data primarily used in the computers and devices is characterized by discrete binary values OS and IS, making it ideal for modern communication system. So this is digital data. Let's see now signal. Signal is also the same two types, analog signal and digital signal. So the data is transmitted over a network in the form of signals which can be either analog or digital. Let's see what is analog signal. A continuous signal like sound or digital waves varies over time and can change its amplitude, frequency, or phases to convey data. Then we have digital signals. The discrete binary signals often represented as pulse or square waves is noise resistant and suitable for long distance data transmission due to its series of binary values. So this is what a digital signal. So digital signal is like if this is the base, this is will be the digital signal, and if this is the base, this is the analog signal. So I hope you understand the difference between analog signal and digital signal. So now let's see the transmission. What is transmission? It's also similarly transmission is also two types: analog transmission and digital transmission. Sorry. Transmission refers to how data is carried over a communication medium. Analog transmission. Analog signal used in the traditional radio and television broadcasting are continuous transmissions, uh, but can suffer from signal degradation due to noise over long distances. It can be interrupted due to the long distance or noise. Um, Basically, they are kind of interruptions between the travel of analog signals, analog transmission. So let's see the signal digital transmission. Similarly, digital transmission involves sending digital signals over a medium. Digital transmission is a reliable, noise resistant, and easily regenerated method commonly used in modern communication systems like computer networks. So we have discussed what is the transmission types and its types, analog transmission and digital transmission. So now we will see the transmission media. We have unguided media and guided media. The transmission media is the physical path through which signals travels from one device to another. Guided. What is guided media? Description: signals are transmitted through a physical method, and, for example, cables. Now, what are the types of guided media? There are three types of guided media. Those are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and optic cable. Twisted pair cable, commonly used in the telephony and LAN, consists of two inserted insulated copper wires. So basically, twisted pair cables consist of two insulated copper wires twisted together to reduce the inferences. Now, what is coaxial cable? Coaxial cable used for cable TV and broadband internet offers higher bandwidth than twisted pair cables. Then we have fiber optic cable. Lastly, fiber optic cable transmit data as light pulses. So it is the most modern era of the cable. The fiber optic cable is used everywhere. It's been using everywhere. This has been used. Transmit data as a light pulses through glass or plastic fiber, offering extremely high data transmissions and high transfer rate. It offers extremely high data transfer rate and resistance to electromagnetic interference. Electromagnetic interference. Now we will see what is unguided media. Unguided media signals are transmitted mm, through through the air or space. Air or space. Signals are transmitted through the air or space without a physical medium. So the types of unguided media, there are also two types of unguided media: radio waves and microwaves. Radio waves is used for wireless communication such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth with a wide converged range. Microwaves used for point-to-point communication such as satellite links and mobile networks. Lastly, there is another type, the third type of unguided media. This is infrared wave. Infrared is used for short-range communications such as remote controls. It's used for short-range communications such as remote control. Now we will see the circuit switching, time division, and space division switches one by one. So circuit switching is a communication method that enables a dedicated path between two devices for transmission, commonly used in the traditional telephone networks. Space division switch, a method where separate a physical path are established for each connections. Each circuit has its dedicated path through a switching matrix. Use cases used in older analog telephone exchanges. Secondly, we have the time division switch. Uses time slots to share a single communication channel among a multiple connection. Each connection is assigned a specific time slot in which to transmit its data. So basically, the time division switch. What is time division switch? It uses a time slot. Time division switch uses time slot to share a single communication channel among multiple connection. Each connection and basically each connection is assigned a specific time slot in which to transmit. In which using those time slot, they transmit its the data in which to in which to transmit its data in which to transmit its data. Okay, yes, basically it's repeated one more time. Now we will see the TDM bus. TDM or time division multiplexing bus. So in TDM multiple, it's not the TDM like you may think the TDM is the team deathmatch of the PUBG, but it's not. It's not the PUBG thing or BGMI thing. TDM means here time division multiplexing bus. So in TDM, multiple data signals are transmitted over the same communication medium by dividing the transmission time into separate time slots. Working. What is the working of the TDM bus? Each device gets a fixed time slot in which it can transmit data, and those time slots repeat cyclically. So basically, each device gets a fixed time slot. There will be assigned a fixed time slot to all of the devices. Each device will be assigned a fixed time slot. Using those time slot, it can transmit data, and those time slot will be repeated cyclically in a cyclic way. So, what is the use case of TDM bus? The use case of TDM bus commonly used it is commonly used in the digital telephony and data networks to allow multiple signals to share a single transmission medium. So it is used in order to share a single transmission medium. Telephone networks. The telephone network is a global communication system that uses a long analog and digital transmission method to facilitate voice communication over long distances. So basically, telephone network, you know the telephone network, what it is, and you can build up a host, a concept behind it, and you can write on your own. So it's easy. Let's see the structure of telephone network. The telephone network is structured in a hierarchical manner. Hierarchical means it's a tree-like structure. The telephone network is structured in a hierarchical manner with a central office connected via trunk lines. There is an office in the central, and looks like a tree-like structure, and those are connected via trunk lines. So local loop and switching center, there are two factor in telephone network. So what is local loop? The wired connection, the wired connection from subscriber's telephone to the nearest switching center. This is called local loop. And switching centers. Now what is the switching centers actually? So this is the switching center. So these are responsible for routing calls through the network, enabling communication. Sorry, this is connection. So switching centers are responsible for routing call through the networks, enabling connection between the caller and the recipient. So basically, this is the whole logic behind telephone network, and hope you guys understood what is like how it works, telephone network works, and we all have a phone call using this telephone network, using this logic, the working behind it. So let's see the working once again. So this is the last para of this chapter. So working in the modern telephone networks, like working means so we will see like as easy example, we all know that modern telephone network utilize digital communication and voice over internet protocol technology to establish connection through the circuit switching or digital transmission method. The text um, the text and creates the fundamental aspects of the physical layer, including data and signal transmission media, circuit switching, and the operations of telephone networks. So this is all about the today's chapter. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any doubts, put it in the comment section. And if you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and see you in a new series in our channel. New subject. Let's see. Okay. Goodbye.